All it takes is change. Don't make it more complicated. When a woman got tired of the guy that sits around, plays video games all the time, when a woman, and y'all, I'm in nature right now, so you might hear some birds, some squirrels, a little breeze here and there, some hawks. Anyways, eventually maybe I'll start filming outside because it's very much peaceful, and sometimes I'm just like, oh, this is a good time to record. But let me go back to what I was saying real quick. So when a woman has been tired of, let's say, those habits of things that are not bettering you. So as I said, playing video games, there's nothing wrong with it. However, that's something you do as a hobby. And also, some women aren't a big fan of that because they kind of look at it as in like, hey, you're doing it too much, or do you have anything more productive to do? Now, that's your thing. If that's your thing, then do what you got to do. However, I would recommend that make sure you're on top of all your other priorities. So that's just one example that I brought up because when I've been watching different videos, I've always came across how a lot of times females will not be interested so much in the guy that plays video games all the time or is into those sorts of games or is doing it with their boys all the time, that sorts of stuff. And sometimes it might become a bad habit. If there's bad habits that you've changed or bad habits that you're trying to change or you know of, comment it down below. I feel like it will be an insight for other fellas, and I'll mention more about it in other videos as well. And also just comment the good habits as well. I feel like it's really good when you know where you need to change, how to like fix up in those areas, and we're here to help each other. So if it's gonna be your stories, I can learn something from it. If it's me giving you advice, I can learn something from you and you learn from me, all that sorts of stuff. And especially fellas reading comments, you definitely help out other fellas and you get different perspective. So that's just one habit. Let me give you another one where a woman basically can look at you differently and can be so into you. So one could be a guy that used to not be as athletic. So you might not like, let's say, going to the gym every day, or let's compare it to you might not like, let's say, walking. You're not a gym guy, you're not a walking guy. So she might look at you as like, how are you going to stay fit? How are you going to stay active? So maybe in your childhood, and something I don't talk about a lot is like your inner childhood, a lot of things that you have to do to heal and look within yourself that made you happy or that traumatized you in the past, how you seen your mother or father get treated or what household that you grew up in. So that just brings me to the point of your childhood could have been that you love playing this specific sport. It could be anything. It could be basketball, soccer, it could be baseball. Maybe you love golfing. It could be literally something that we don't even know of, but you created as you created as a sport that you like to do. So it's a sport that you like to do that is something you have not done in a long time. When I feel like people become adults and as we mature and get older, whether you're even like 18, you've still grown from when you were 16, from when you were 12, right? Even if you're 25 or 30, 50, however old you are, does not matter. There was things I used to love to do. One thing I love when old people cherish and love when they are still living like their youthfulness. So sometimes you might come across somebody that is much older in age and they are living like, oh, you know, like a kid in a sense, or they start doing something that they love when they were younger, or they talk about it and you can just see the passion in it. So that's the lack that you could be having, where you are not going ahead. Y'all, these birds, I think y'all can hear it. Let me know if you could hear the birds. I'm telling you, sometimes it's way more quiet. However, it's like when I do want to film or record, this is what they got to be doing. Sorry about that. So let me go back to how you have to find what it is that brings joy. This whole focusing on her and having it be that she's your everything, she brings you joy, she brings you peace. No, turn it into she adds on to that. And when she recognizes that she's the one that's adding that onto your life, she is now recognizing she can't really take that away from you. She can maybe make you feel a way about like, oh, you know, she was a good girl. If you didn't treat her right, of course, maybe you'll feel like I need to change my ways, or I need to man up more, that sorts of stuff, or I have to find joy and happiness in things that I need to do. Of course, those sorts of stuff are important. My point is, though, that you need that woman to have a realization of herself, she is not everything. Y'all put too much emphasis and too much, let's say, attachments and dependence on a woman when you've been around her. And no matter if it's been for a while or not, you have to have a structure in your routine. I highly recommend that no matter what stage you're in. So like if you're in just single, dating, serious relationship, long-term relationship, even long distance, on and off, whatever you're in, entanglement, situationship, secret link, there's so many out here. So whatever you're in, every single one, have you been realizing you've been shifting in certain ones? So maybe you're a serious person, you don't do flings or something. Have you noticed though your energy, your focus has been altered and shifted way too much? Because if, let's say, a woman earns your respect and earns your time, why are you giving her beyond that, right? She earned it. You don't have to go to that fullest extent. This is not the woman that you married. This is not the mother of your kids. This is not a woman that's been maybe consistent and shown you and been there for you since like hard times or when things go down. Like that's a little bit different because yeah, you can go over and above, but when she's in the earning stage, when she has to prove herself, and plus sometimes there's still red flags, you're still having your life revolve around her and having bad habits remain in your life and not including the good habits. So to wrap up this video, change that shift, because that's where when a woman will gravitate really back to you and realize that, okay, this guy has so much worth and his life just moves forward, and that makes you so much better of a man. Now y'all make sure you check out Patreon, get the explicit and exclusive content.
It could be about anything self-improvement, back to dating. Consultations are available for that. Book your consultation. Let's get on the line and talk about what's going on with you. Click that link after this video.
Sleep affirmations so you could become that powerful man, and it is recorded in my voice, and I give you the strongest affirmations to overall become that man and subconsciously become powerful. So let's get into these books. Get a track woman you want and get her to miss you, along with secrets to winning her over, and it tells you about cold approaching. It tells you my personal stories, and if you're trying to up your game in the dating game, these books are going to be perfect for that, and you could get it all in a bundle deal. Make sure you click the link down below.
Are self-improving in the process. This is so serious. This is why I have a whole no contact guide and journal available. Y'all could go ahead and purchase it. If you need somewhere to start off, then you need all the breakdowns, all the insight, the information, and I have structure in there, help you, prompts, things that will tell you you got this, but it'll give you also reasons why, and I have stories in there that tells you why no contact has worked for people, all types of stuff. It's so detailed, y'all. That's how much information I made sure to put in there. Step up no contact, or if you need somewhere to start and you need something to help you, this is like me guiding you as you go through no contact. That's how I customized it for y'all. So you can check that out by clicking the link down below. See what you could do with no contact, how far you could do it. Just learn everything, have the guidance and accountability partner. Although I'm not actually there, you'll feel that sense from this journal and guide.